In this section, we will set up our main screen in order to be able to run the app, because we have built quite a lot in this app but have not run the app once. So we need a couple of things more before we can run this app. So we need to create routes and nav controller to navigate in the app. So let's create these things in main screen. So we will create our main screen here in main screen package. So let's create new file and call it main screen. So in this main screen, we need to create a sealed class for routes. So we will say sealed class nav screen, and we need a parameter for route. So we can say val route of type string. Then we need to create an object for home route. So we can say object home of type nav screen, and we can create the route here by saying home. So the sealed class is an abstract class with a restricted class hierarchy. So it will only can be accessed through this main screen. Only this main screen can access this sealed class objects because it's defined inside this class. This provide more control over the inheritance, and they are restricted but also allow freedom in state representation, and this sealed class cannot be extended by any other class. Now we need to build the navigation in the main screen function, and for that we need dependency for both Android X Navigate and Hild navigation. So let's go to project level build file. Okay, here we made a typo, so we can correct it by putting the colon. So let's go to the project level build Gradle, and here we need to define the version for those navigations. So first of all, we need the compose navigation. So we can say compose navigation, and the version is going to be 2.4.0 dash alpha 09, and then we need the hilt navigation. So we can say 1.0 dash alpha 03, and here we need another O, and we can sync now. Now we can declare the dependencies in the app level build Gradle file. So here I will say navigation, and let's define the Android X navigation first. So we can say implementation Android X dot navigation colon navigation compose, and we can pass the version. So we can say navigation compose navigation, and then for the hilt navigation we can say implementation Android X dot hilt and we can choose the hilt navigation compose, and then we can pass the version for the hilt navigation actually. So yeah, this one, and we can sync it. Now back to main screen, and now we can create our main screen function. So we can say add composable function main screen. Here we need to create a nav controller first. So we can say value nav controller, and we can use remember nav controller. It creates a nav host controller that handles the adding of compose navigator and dialog navigator. Then we need to create a local context. So we can say value context, and we can set it to local context, not absolute, local context dot current. Then we need to apply window insets value to the local window insets. So here insets mean size. Window insets are insets of system view like top app bar, status bar, navigation bar that are applied to the window so that they can be applied in proper layer. Otherwise they could overlap on each other, or the app bar and the navigation could go into background layer and you won't able to touch them. So window insets make sure that every component is in its proper layer and not messing with some other component layer. And it's provided by Google Accompanist insets, which we declare in the previous section. So we can say here provide window insets. Then we need to create a nav host here. So we can say nav host, and it requires a nav controller. So we can pass our nav controller value which we created. So we can say nav controller, and we don't need the nav graph. We need a destination, we need a start destination. So we can say start destination, and we can set it to nav screen dot home dot route, and then we can provide the nav graph builder. So in this nav graph builder we create the routes through composable function. So we can say composable, and here we can pass the route. So nav screen dot home dot route, here we need to create the nav backstack entry, and for that we need to reference to our main view model. So we can say value view model equal hilt view model, and here we need to provide the main view model. So we can say main view model. Then we can set our screens. So we can say here screens, and it need two parameters view model. So we can pass our view model reference here, and for select image we can just leave it as it is because we have not created the detail screen yet. So we cannot go to detail screen. So we will leave it here. After that, we need the toast in case of API response failure. So we can say view model dot toast dot observe, and here we need to provide a life cycle owner. So we can say local life cycle owner dot current, and then we can create our toast. So we can say toast dot make text, and here we need to provide the context. So we can say context, we can pass the context here, then the message. So the message can simply be it, so we can pass the it, and then we need to pass the length of the duration for the toast. So we can say toast dot length short, and then we can finally call the show method function. So dot show, and then we can create a log. So we can log cat the error as well. So we will just say log e, and here we need to import the tag. So let's import the content value tag, and here we can say main screen, and we can pass the it. So we can say plus it dot to string, and yeah, that's it for the main screen for now, and that's also for this section. But let me also do a quick fix in the main view model because I made a mistake. I did not make a mistake, I just forget to initialize the view model. So here I just need to initialize it. So I can say init, and let's log this as well. So we can say log d, and here I want to get rid of tag, and I just want to provide the message. So I can say view model, and then here I can say view model initialized. So that's it for this section, and in the next section we will set up this main screen into the main activity, and then we will fine tune the project to run on the emulator. So now we will bring this main screen to our main activity file, which provides the entry point for the application. So let's go to the main activity. So here we first need to create a separate class to inject our image loader function, which we created in the network module. If you remember, in our network module we have this image loader function. So now we need this image loader to fetch images from the network. So we can use it here in main activity. So let's create the class. So let's first get rid of this boilerplate code, and we also need to get rid of this greeting, and here we can say class root view model add inject constructor. Here we can initialize the image loader. So we can say val image loader, and it you can see that we have a little icon here, and if we click it, it will take to the network module. So it's saying that we are now referencing this function, this HILT function in our main activity. So after that, we need to extend this class with view model. So we can say colon view model, and inside this class we just need to initialize this class. So we can say init, and we can log it. So we can say log d, and we need to import the tag. So just import it, and in message we can just say initialized root view model. So we need this image loader function to provide the support for loading images from network. And now we have to annotate this class with at HILT view model also. So we can say at HILT view model. Now we need a reference of this root view model in the main activity. So here we can say value view model of type root view model, and we can say by, I think we need this one, yeah, and we also have to annotate it with at visible for testing. So we can say at visible for testing. So what it does, it relax the visibility for this field so that it is more widely visible. Otherwise we will have to make it private, and HILT just does not work with private variables. Now we need to cut this entire piece of code. So we can cut it, and we need to put it into composition local provider. So we can say composition local provider, and we need to put all this code inside this function. So composition local provider, what it does, it binds value to providable composition local keys, and it reads the composition local using composition local dot current, and it will return the value provided in composition local provided's value parameter for all composable functions that are called directly or indirectly in this content. So now we need to provide the coil image loader in this composition local provider. So we can say, we can remove these values, and here we can say local coil image loader, and we can say provides, and here we will just pass our image loader. So we can say image loader view model dot image loader, and then we need to provide annotation for this main activity. So HILT can know that this file is the entry point of this app. So we can just say here at Android entry point. Now we need to make this app a HILT app. So for that we need to create a class with same name as the name of this project. So the name of this project is image repository app. So let's create a class. Here we can say new Kotlin class, and we can say image repository app, and we just need to extend it with application, and we need to annotate with HILT Android app. Now we need to go to manifest file to provide some additional information about the app. So we can close all of these screens and we can go to manifest file. Here we need to first provide the permission for internet using, so we can say uses permission, and there we just got the first permission for internet, so we can use it, declare it. And then we need to provide the application name in the application block. So here we can say Android name, and as it's already detected the name of the app, so we can say image repository app, the class we created just earlier, this one. It will work as the name of the app. Now we need the base class component activity for activities that enables composition of higher level components. So after the activity tags ends, here we can declare the component activity. So we can say activity, and we have to provide the name. So we can say Android X dot activity dot component activity. Then we need the provider for startup, and for that we need startup dependency. So we can go to project build again, and here I can say startup equal 1.0, my numlock is off, we can say 1.0.0, and we can sync it. Then in the app level build we can declare the dependency. So here we can say startup and then implementation Android X dot startup, and we can choose the startup runtime, this one, and then we can provide the version number for it. So we can say startup, and then we can sync again. So the app startup library provides a straightforward performant way to initialize components at application startup. It is used to streamline the startup sequences and explicitly set the order of initialization. It also allows you to define components initializer that share a single content provider, and this can significantly improve at app startup time. So let's declare it in manifest file. So after component activity we can say provider, and the first thing we need is the authorities. So we just need to use our Android X startup. So we can say com, we need to provide the package name. So I can say com.pivotalpeaks, and then the name of the app. So we can say image repository app, and then we can provide the Android X dot startup. So we can say Android X dash start up. Then we need the name, so we can provide the Android X dot startup dot initialization provider, and then we need to provide a couple of more parameters. So we can say Android dot exported, we need to make it false. So it just indicate whether this application component is available to other applications. So it is a standalone application and does not need to communicate with other application. So we can say false. And then we need the tools. dot node. So we can say tools dot node equals, we can provide the merge or remove, both will work. And why it's giving me red light? Okay, I need to import it, so alt plus import, alt plus enter import. So this attribute ensures that the manifest merger tool properly resolves any conflict entries. In case of if we have multiple manifest file, I mean the APK can only have one manifest file, but the Android Studio may contain several manifest file provided by the main source sets, build variants and imported files. So in that case, if there is a conflict, so what we want to do, so we can either merge it or remove it. So the merge is the optimal solution, so we should use merge. So that's it, and I think we should be running the app. So let's try and run the app and see if we can get it running. So I am going to open my emulator and just I will start this one. So the emulator is up and I'm just going to click play button to run the app and see how long it takes to run the app. And I have tried to run the app and we ran into some problems, actually a lot of problems. So we will fix all of these problems in the next section. So do not worry, we will get all of them. So I will see you in the next section. So this is where we end up in the last section with the errors. So before we move on and pinpoint the errors, first we need to add a plugin for Kotlin Android, which I should have done much earlier, but for some reason I forget it. So we need to go to the app level build Gradle, and here we need to add the plugin for Kotlin Android. So we can say id and then Kotlin dash Android, and then we can sync it. So let's sync now. So what was the problem? Actually the problem was in the build log, but since we sync it, the log is gone, so I have to run it again to see the problem. So let's do it again. So yeah, now we have got the problem, and let's see what it is saying. So it's saying that Dagger missing binding, and it's saying that for image service network.image service we are missing the bindings for Dagger. So let's go there and see. So we can just click here on this class and it should take to this network class, and it did not take us to that class object. So we can go by ourselves there. So I am going to close this and let's go to our network module. So network module, and here it's saying that we have problem with image service. So let's go to the image service. This is where the problem is. So here I forget to annotate it with add provides and at a singleton. So we need to do that. So let's do it. So here we can say at provides and then at singleton, and let's run it again and see what happens. So after rectifying that problem, we don't have any build problem, but seems like we still have some problem because the screen is showing blank, so we are not getting the images. So we need to work on those. Also, we have forget to use the inner padding in the screens file, and the content scale is never used. So we need to use it, otherwise the image cannot be scaled. So I think that is the problem, that the images are not loading. So let's go to the network image, and here the content scale, because it cropped the images and it has not been used in the coil image. So let's use it real quick here. So we can say content scale equal, we can pass the content scale that we created, and again we are having a bit of problem. So let's see what is that. Cannot find a parameter with this name. Okay, we need to add this outside of this shimmer params. Okay, let's put it here after the image URL. So we can say content scale equal content scale, and let's run it again and see if this resolve the problem. So it did not resolve our problem completely. Also, we had to apply inner padding in our screens, because we also seems to forget that. So this inner padding has not been applied. So let's apply this inner padding. So for that we need to create a modifier. So we can say value modifier equals modifier dot padding, and here we can say inner padding, and then we need to apply this inner padding into our image tab. So here we need to provide the final parameter as a modifier. So we can say modifier, and let's run it again, and it did not run again. So after doing some debugging and testing, I realized that I have forget to call this main screen in our main activity. So that's why we could not get anything on our screen. So let's just call the main screen in the on create view function, on create function in main activity, and then we can run the app. So let's do it. And it has been installed and about to launch, so we will see. So you can see that we have managed to run the app, but not the way we wanted, but at least we got something running, and seems like it is the problem with maybe a staggered vertical grid, something I missed. Maybe it's the width of the image. So yeah, we were able to run the app. And so in next section we will be fixing this issue to fix our grid, and we can also switch to the list tab. So I can click here. So you can see I have not put anything inside the list screen, so I just put this message image list tab. So in the next section we will fix our staggered vertical grid to display the images properly, and I will see you in the next section. So now we need to fix the home screen, as it's only showing one column, but we need at least two columns. So I realized that I did a typo mistake when I was creating the staggered vertical grid. So here in the staggered vertical grid, in the shortest column function, the minimum height should be set to int dot max value and not to min value. So we can actually log this column and see how it works. So just before we return the column, we can log it. So here we can say log d, and here we can say column, and then we can say plus, and here we can log the column to see how it works. So we can run this app. So we can go to the logcat and search for the shortest column. So you can see that with minimum value, we are only getting one column. So you can see we never get the column 1. Of course, it start with 0 indexed, so don't confuse with that. So you can see that all images on the first column and we never get to the second column. So now we can change it to max value and see how it works. So here we can say max value and then we can run it again and then we can log the difference. So now we are getting all the images properly in both columns. We can also see that in the logcat. So we can just search for it. So now you can see that it start with column 0. So it start with here column 0 and the second image is placed in column 1. So you can see that it's here and then 0 1 0 1. So you can see the pattern here 0 1 0 1. So it's able to actually put the images in both column. So that's it for this section.